This is Cheyenne Valentine back today again with a new episode. In today's episode, I want to talk about something that's been bothering me. It's been bothering me for quite a long time. And this is about the way some black women view other black women. And what I mean by this is, in this society, it seems like if you're a so-called very feminine or docile black woman, other black women look at you as a pushover, a doormat, not aggressive enough. And now, don't get me wrong. I said some black women view other black women as weak when they're docile, and it's almost as if black women expect other black women to just naturally be aggressive. I don't know where this comes from. They expect you to act just overly aggressive, and if you don't, you're almost not a black woman. It's almost like if you don't act a certain way and you don't have this tough exterior and you just act like a woman and act feminine, then some black women look at you as weak and say that you're not, aggressive. Also notice with some black women, let me underline the word some, their claim to fame, I can never say that. Their claim to fame is basically coming off as a hard ass. They want to be known as the one that you don't fuck with. They want to be known as the woman that you don't mess with, and she's gonna put you in your place. And they get off to that. Some of them. Now I'm gonna give you some examples. So, a job I had back in the day when I was about 24, 25, I was a work study student. I had a boss, whatever you want to call her. She was, she was an accountant, basically, for the school. I worked under her. She was a bitch. And I remember my desk was right in front of her office, and someone came and knocked on the door or something, like walked past me and knocked on the door, and I didn't stop them, or something happened, something very trivial and stupid. And then she was like, Cheyenne, you're supposed to stop them and tell them not to come in here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She was saying in a joking way, but was serious. And I'm like, what the fuck? My desk literally faced the wall, so my back was to whoever would walk up, and she didn't tell me to not tell anybody in particular not to enter the office. And I'm not your security guard either. I'm not finna get all, like, if somebody was really invading your space or coming in your office, just don't want to stop them. But, that's not my job. I mean, I'm not your security guard. And it wasn't that serious, but she made a joke, and then she said, you're not, I said, what, aggressive enough? She's like, yeah, you're not aggressive enough. She was saying in a joking way, but she was serious. So you want me to be like you? At the time, I think she was in her 30s. She was engaged at one point, but things didn't work out with that dude. I remember her talking to another dude, and she was saying that, well, he was a DJ, and he also did other work on the side, and he was saying he was taking applications. Right when they started talking, she was basically giving him advice on how to spend his money. Men don't like that. Women don't like that. But, when you just first meet somebody, they don't want to hear your fucking opinion as far as their finances and stuff. Because basically, they are who they are. Now, if you don't like it, just find somebody else. But telling somebody you just met how they should do this, how they should do that, you're a little bit too opinionated. You're supposed to try to put your best foot forward. It's okay to be outspoken. But it's like, okay, he don't want to hear that. I mean, that's his money. He does what he want to do with his money. If you don't like how he spends his money, then obviously he's not the guy for you, and move on. Like, she's trying to give unwanted advice. So that's the first incident I had where I had someone say I wasn't aggressive enough, because I'm just I'm laid back and I'm very feminine. So basically, I just want to know if I was a white woman or an Asian girl or a Hispanic woman, would she have said that to me? I don't think she would have. I don't, because she was just a bitch for no reason. She was an asshole. And I feel like with some black women, I don't know where this came from, but they feel like they have to be like that. Like, they feel like if they don't have an attitude or they're not a bitch, then they're not representing the black woman well. Another incident. I was doing an internship when I was in college and whatnot, and one of my internships I did, and this internship, they excuse me, I'm plugging up the battery, and sorry about that. So in this, I don't want the camera to die. So In this internship, it was the lady who I was interning under. She was an older white lady. I didn't really like her. She had a very dry personality. I didn't like her. It was a kind of younger white lady with curly hair, and it was a mixed girl. And of course, I wear my hair natural. She would wear her hair either straight or in this natural, loosely curly form. The only reason I'm bringing this up because I know one day I was talking to her and she was looking at my hair. She was really staring at it. I just noticed that. I don't know why the hell she was staring at it, but she was. So anyway, I was sitting off at the little desk they had me at, and two black women walked up and started talking to her. Like I said, she was biracial. Two black women walked up and they was mentioning that they watched Scandal the night before, and she wasn't married at the time, but these were kind of older black women. They were already married, and they said, well, we're gonna teach you how to get a husband. We're gonna we're gonna give you some tips on how to get one. Well, I would have said, I don't need tips on how to get one. You only know how to get the man you got. I don't want your husband, so you can't give me tips on shit. But she let them have it. I get offended when people come to me, tell me I'm gonna teach you how to get a man or get a husband because they're married and I'm not. Bitch, how you know I haven't been proposed to already and I just declined? How dare you? But anyway, so they was telling her about they had got into an argument with another coworker there, and one of the black women said, because they can't come at me like that, I'm black, I don't take that, I'm a black woman, I don't take that kind of stuff. She made I'm not gonna say that's exactly what she said, but she said something along the lines of, I'm black, and I got an attitude problem, or I'm black, so I don't take no shit. Something like basically her being black equals her being a bitch or being tough. And I'm trying to figure out why black women feel they should have this persona of this tough, overly aggressive. This is the very thing that I hear black men don't like about some black women, them acting masculine, acting too aggressive. Men don't like that shit. Another incident. Well, this was kind of off topic, but this was a white guy I worked with who was somewhat of a wigger. This one years ago when I worked, before I went to school, and I was working at a warehouse. I was like 21, and it was a lady I worked with who I was friends with. She was biracial, but she preferred black men. So I just want to give you a picture of the kind of people I was talking to. So he's white, but he's like a wigger. And she's biracial, but she prefer black men. So she's used to being around blacks, but she's not used to being around the blacks that are middle class. She's used to being around kind of the ghetto poor blacks, put it like that. Not every poor black person is ghetto, because I'm poor. So I think you guys get what I'm saying here. So they was used to, let's put it like this, they was used to being around certain blacks that talked a certain way, acted a certain way, put it like that. So we were talking and I said, oh, I don't know, perhaps I might do it. I made a statement like that. I don't know what we were talking about, but I said, I don't know, perhaps I might do it. And I said perhaps, not trying to sound proper or special. I just said perhaps. You hear how I talk on these videos. I curse. I don't sound proper at all. I'm not trying to sound different than what I am. I'm just me. So they said, did you say perhaps? Why are you talking all proper? Why you why you ain't supposed to talk like that? And even he was saying this, and he was a white dude. And I'm like, how the hell this white dude wigger telling me that I sound too proper? Like, I hate that people make it seem like a black person is supposed to act, talk, and do certain shit, and it's usually negative shit. Like, they don't expect positive shit from us, right? They expect us to be hood rats and trashy, and like, they don't expect us to speak proper English. They don't expect us to have any education. They don't expect us to, have morals and values and not be ratchet. Like, I don't get it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people expecting us to be a certain way, and it's always negative. So that was one incident where people, where it was two people making it seem like I'm like me saying the word perhaps was out of line for, as a black woman. I'm not supposed to say perhaps. I'm supposed to say maybe, and I don't know. I'm supposed to talk like that, right? Okay, so next incident. This was recently. The last job I was at, I worked around a lot of black women. They was all natural like me, but that's the only thing we had in common. We had natural hair. They was it was just miserable working around them. So the one that sat next to me, she happened to be, say she was 50, heavy set. She loved to eat and cooked. And let me tell you something, everybody. They thought I had an eating disorder just because I barely ate at work. Let me tell you something about me. When I'm under a lot of stress and I don't like my job, I don't eat when I'm there. I eat very little because when I'm under stress, it takes my appetite. I don't like working 9-to-5 jobs anyway because I'm there for too many hours and it just drives me fucking crazy. And then I'm around people I don't like. I'm not making the money I deserve, and it's taking up all my time. So it already has me like depressed. And then if I'm around like really hateful, bitter bitches that I gotta deal with, I'm on edge, I'm agitated, I'm stressed, and I can't eat. Some people when they stress they eat more. With me, I eat less. So I will be there for 8 hours and I will eat some dates. I don't know if you know what dates are, but they're kind of like big raisins. I would like snack on that, drink a bunch of water, and I would have that for 8 hours, literally. And I was able to function like that. And it was just because I hated being there that bad. That being there took my fucking appetite. So the lady I sat next to, she actually would make cookies and candies on the side and bake cakes. So she loved to eat. She was heavy set, and so we were polar opposite. I'm a vegan, and so she ate meat. So she didn't understand me. She thought I had to eat. They thought I had an eating disorder. They would literally for lunch order like Papa John's, Donato's. They go to Chinese restaurant. They go to Cordova's. Like they ate good for lunch, and I would eat dates and water. So they thought I had an eating disorder. When I would leave there, I would smash when I got home. It's just being there took my appetite. But when you're dealing with people who don't care what they eat and they eat a lot. And I eat a decent amount too, but it's just like I'm telling y'all, this place is taking my appetite, but you just can't fathom a motherfucker working 8 hours and not eating. Well, everybody's body functions differently, and if I don't want to be here, I'm not gonna eat. So anyway, sorry to get off topic, but this woman thought I had eating disorder, and they just couldn't understand me. So she would tell me stories, everybody, of her whooping people's ass. Yes, everybody. She told me one story where she lived in New York. She moved to New York with her boyfriend, which was a bad idea. I think she was like 21 or 22 at the time. She kept going to the corner store. A girl, when she would walk past, a girl say fat bitch and make little nasty comments. One day she couldn't take it no more. She stepped on the girl's foot and she said just worked her to the ground. Just basically stood on both of the girl's feet and just beat the shit out of her till the girl just fell to the ground. Couldn't find out this girl was her boyfriend's like ex high school sweetheart, and they were still fucking around. Okay, she told me that story. She told me a story where her ex, he assaulted her. He slapped her at a she came to his soccer game, or I think he was Jamaican. She came to his basketball game or soccer game. I think it was a soccer game because he was playing outside. Another guy gave her like a ice cream cone or something, and her boyfriend felt disrespected, so he beat the shit out of the dude, and then he came back and he slapped her. And she said she blacked out and beat the fuck out of him. Now, how she could beat the fuck out of a man, that's yet to be seen. After that, she claimed that when she got home, she called her mom and asked her mom what to do if a man hits you. She said he was sleeping, and she took a machete and got on top of him and put the machete, the wood part, on his neck. And when he woke up, she tried to choke him. She said, if you ever hit me again, I'll kill you. Somehow he threw her off. He threw her off of him, and she said she swung the machete and cut him. And the mom came downstairs, because his mom lived downstairs or upstairs, and she heard the commotion, came in. She told his mom that, he had hit her. Police got called. That was one incident. Then she said another incident, she was at work, working for this white lady. She said her mom, she was working full time, and then after work she'd go pick up her mom or do something like that. I think her mom was sick at the time. Take her mom to the hospital or something like that. And she just was maybe 10 minutes late coming back. She would basically on her lunch break, she'll run errands for her mom. She was 10 minutes late coming back from lunch. The white lady said to her, you people always think the rules don't apply to you. And she said, who are you people? And she said, you people. And she said, I'm gonna need you to refrain from saying you people. And she said, she beat the woman's ass and threw shit at her, and the woman got up on the desk. The reason I'm saying this is because as she was telling me these stories, everybody, she had this look of just glee on her face. Like she felt so proud that she had been violent and was whooping people's ass. And she was very outspoken. She stayed to herself, but she still was she wasn't outspoken like just me putting people in their place outspoken. She was kind of quiet, but like angry quiet, kind of get mad easily quiet. the supervisor didn't like her, I guess, because she would say certain things and was kind of outspoken, but kind of ready for a confrontation. Like when she did speak up, she'd get angry kind of quickly. And this is my thing with some black women. It's like they get off to having this tough girl persona, like somebody's supposed to put you on a pedestal for being a bitch, like you, like almost like being tough and aggressive validates them. Like, she's telling me these stories of her beating somebody's ass, and because I had a cousin like that, where she was talking about how she could whoop somebody's. I guess she was trying to intimidate me. I don't know. I whooped somebody. She could whoop somebody's ass, and I remember we were walking and we were out with her sister and some other girls, and the cops were out. We were out then we went to the club, and afterwards there's a lot of people out, and he was telling us to hurry up and cross the street. And then my cousin, was running her mouth, and he's like, say something else, I'm gonna arrest you, or say something else, and she didn't say nothing. So she'd act tough. Or like her uncle, she was running her mouth, and her uncle was like 6'5", 300 pounds. He picked up by her neck, and they was saying, she got a smart mouth. So some of these women who got this smart mouth think they're so fucking tough. They really not that tough. They try. My thing is, why do you want to be tough as a woman? Like, I'm trying to understand why you want somebody to be afraid of you and you're a woman. I guess is what I'm trying to get. I understand how men act like that, because they got to be out here. I don't know. They want to be protectors and the testosterone. But you as a woman, why do you want to have this image of not taking no shit from nobody? I'm a badass. I mean, it's just protect yourself, be firm and aggressive when you need to, but why you get off telling stories of you whooping somebody's ass and you did this? No, most men don't find that attractive or appealing at all. And I've noticed this with some black women. I don't know what the fuck it is. And if you're a black woman, I've heard black women say things too, like, I'm a strong black woman. I hate that fucking statement. What makes you a strong black woman? Like, what have you, and why is it strong black woman? You could say you're a strong woman, but what you mean strong black woman? Like, what, I don't understand what that means. I know black women, we go through a lot, but strong in what? And then like some black women might say, I'm a strong black woman, I got an attitude. No, nobody wants to be around a motherfucker with an attitude problem. Like, I don't understand, why some black women want to have this, they want their image to be this tough, aggressive, I'll beat your ass. They want other people to fear them. And like, I don't take no shit, I'm about that life. You're a woman. About what fucking life? It should beat somebody ass. Okay, whose ass? You ain't gonna be able to beat no man's ass. So who made you? Another woman? Okay, and bring it the fuck on. Cause I grew up fighting. Cause I grew up in a bad area, so I have no problems with fighting. I'm not a pushover. I do have a little anger problem myself, but at the same time, I'm very feminine. I know how to control it, and I only bring it out when it's necessary. I'm not going around trying to pick fights with people and tell me I'm a bad bitch and I'll whoop any bitch's ass. I mean, that is not attractive to men. I don't understand why some black women want, I didn't say all, and some white women and other races women like this too, but I can only speak from being a black woman. I just know some black women make you feel, if you're more feminine, and especially very feminine, that you're a pushover, you're too passive, and you need to have, you're a black woman, so you're supposed to act or something. You're supposed to be a bitch. You're supposed to have an attitude. You're supposed to be overly aggressive. And that's the very shit that I be hearing black men, not the only thing, but that'd be one of the things that they cannot, one of the things that black men do not like about black women, some black men, is the over aggressive, want to take charge, I'm the man, type persona. High testosterone, I beat a motherfucker's ass. You ain't gonna be able to beat his ass. So what do you, no man, that's equivalent. I had this conversation with my boyfriend. He was like, I said, it seems like, a lot of black men complain about black women being overly aggressive and masculine. It seems like they have a disdain for it. Like, they just hate it. He said, yeah, that's just like, a guy who's gay and like very feminine, trying to talk to you, and he claimed he's straight, you'll be turned off. He was like, you don't want a man that's acting feminine or that's gay. You want a man. So he's like, yeah. He said most of the black men acted like, it's no such thing as acting gay, but if most of the black men had very low testosterone, kind of had a more feminine persona, and they maybe had the mannerisms as some gay men, he said black women would be disgusted too, and just to turn the fuck off. And he's right. If a lot of black men had the persona and mannerisms as kind of flamboyant, feminine gay men, I wouldn't be dating them because I like masculine men, and so I wouldn't want them to fucking touch me. So black women, some black women need to understand is why do you, and I just want to ask them, and I will not ask them, I just want to say to the black woman who listens to this, have you ever felt like as a black woman you had to come off more tougher or be a bitch or be overly aggressive and you couldn't just be this feminine, delicate flower? Now, yeah, you might feel that you had to be tougher because you grew up in a bad area. And I think that's where this comes from. You had to grow up, maybe fending for yourself or having to fight because other people were bothering you. I understand that might have made you more aggressive, but I'm saying, do you feel like from other black women, they put the standard on you that you're supposed to be aggressive, a bitch, ready to fight? And women also, have you ever encountered black women who brag about beating somebody's ass, being tough, not taking no shit from nobody, whooping motherfucker? Even with the lady that was telling me the stories of her beating people up, I used to think about, I'm like, well, how does her husband handle her? Like, cause she was saying she had him doing stuff around the house, and she like, are you okay? He like, yeah, and he'd kind of have an attitude. I'm like, she's kind of aggressive. Like, what is it about her that's turning him on? Like, when I find out a man is with a woman like her that's kind of aggressive like that, it makes me feel like he's feminine. Because I'm like, most men don't like a woman bossing him around and controlling him and bragging about fighting and whooping people's ass and shit. I mean, men don't really like those kind of women. Not masculine men. I like masculine men. So I don't know if the men are more feminine that these women get with, but I just want women to know that that's not appealing to a man when you're talking about how you can beat a motherfucker's ass, how you busted somebody's nose, how you can stump a bitch out, how you don't take no shit, you an independent black woman, you strong. That is not attractive to a fucking man. Just want to let you know.